Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and I hope you enjoyed my series of things that I liked about Fallout 76, especially the last episode where we talked about the stories that we find in these games. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me coming back to Fallout, even a deeply flawed Fallout game such as Fallout 76. What we're doing today is pretty much my first camp tour video. This is the first camp that I built that I feel like was cool enough to bother showing off. It's nighttime now, although you can hardly tell because the ground fairly glows with pollution around here. One of the things that I don't like about 76 is the extremely limited build budget. And we can kind of get around that a little bit by building in areas that have pre-existing structures, which is what I've done here. So we've got a nice sign welcoming us home. You will see the occasional thing from the Atom Shop in my builds because I will spend in-game atoms that I earned, but I feel like I've spent enough money on the game so I don't actually tend to buy those things, which means that there'll be some but not a lot of those Atom Shop items in here. Let's take a look at the outside first. And first things first, we have to have a toilet because it's a Nacho Bidness settlement, and I like to have a bathroom in every settlement, and so we've got one here. Figure that it can drain into this river, which is highly irradiated and completely poisonous, and so no harm, no foul. Oddly enough, the ground texture actually goes inside of this thing and makes it look extra disgusting. I'm not sure that I could bring myself to actually use that thing. Other outdoor features that we have include a guard station. Occasionally enemies will come down that road, and so it's nice to have a place to stand and shoot them. Got a nice fertilizer producer here, and around the back of the house got a scarecrow here. For some reason I find that scarecrow especially disturbing. I'm not sure why. But there was a garden around the back that I was able to take advantage of and add my own plants to it as well. So the plants that you find naturally in the world don't necessarily produce as often as the plants that you add yourself from your camp, but they can be used to supplement your food supply. In fact, I find myself selling more food than I find eating. Over here, we've got a bathtub because I think it's important to stay clean even in the waste. So since the river is polluted, we've got a downspout here that can fill the bathtub and a fire next to it to try and keep the temperature somewhat comfortable. We've also got an artillery piece here. I've been playing around with that. The range is not necessarily what I could wish for, but it's still nice having some fire support when you're at least in the region of your camp. Let's take a look inside of this first farmhouse over here. Fun thing about it is that since junk will spawn here, it looks almost like we've got junk decoration happening again, which is nice. I miss that aspect of Fallout 4. We've got a cooking stove here. Unfortunately, I can't remove the stove that pre-exists. There are a lot of severe limitations when it comes to working around these pre-existing structures. Even so, this camp ends up with 4 sleepable beds that are all not just like right on top of each other. And it's nice that a whole team can come here and do what they need to do and not just be elbow to elbow like it is in most of the smaller camp builds that I see. Of course, those 2 beds also have a place to get well tuned outside, and We've got another farmhouse over here. This one I thought I was feeling especially clever when I was building in here, and then come to find out, no, other people have found similar things in that this has a functioning faucet, which means that I can collect dirty water without having to have a water pump. And that's nice. It's just one less thing to add into our build budget. It is not the first time I've seen this, though. Quicksmoke had a very nice camp video that featured a faucet that worked in his location. So you can go check that out. Got another cooking station here. Got some recipes that I already know, so I just left them alone. Upstairs here is our third bed in a very nice bedroom, and this is another place where I was feeling clever building around here, in that I like to put my character to sleep when I step away to go to the bathroom or do something else in the real world. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a hidden place that no one could find me, so that I don't get, murdered in my sleep up here. So I have layered this area up top with rugs, and it's kind of like a little secret room up here. And although it's a little bit glitchy, this sleeping bag does work as the fourth sleepable bed in this camp. Now, it turns out that this wasn't as clever as I thought, because if anybody waves their crosshairs even in your general direction, you show up on their screen. So someone can still find you up there, but at least it's a little bit harder to find you. I have come back from being away and found people basically just standing over me when I return, and it's just a little bit disconcerting. That's the farmhouses. Now we do have a little bit that's cool when it comes to the power here. I got in the habit in Fallout 4 of putting a switch between my generator and the rest of my power system, and I continue to follow that habit here, which means that I can hit that one switch and all of the lights and power in the entire camp go out. It is a handy trick for being able to do wiring while you don't have power in your circuits. So something that I always recommend people do. Now, as far as my workshop here, I really like this. I think that it turned out pretty good. There's a little bit of an interesting roof line that's going on here, and was able to do some fun things when it came to power. So let's take a look here. There is an alarm that goes off when someone opens this door, and I did that because I wanted to be able to know and have an audio cue if I stepped away, if somebody was maybe messing with my stuff. I've got an override there though that lets me turn that off if it's just me that's around the camp. I've also just got a nicely decorated lower floor here, and this switch locks the door from the inside. The switch on the outside of this door now no longer works, and I'm pretty secure inside here because the brick walls are pretty durable. It's hard for people to break through them, and at least gives me a little bit of extra time to prepare. So we had our power armor station over there. We've got our chemistry station here. There was a chemistry station in one of those farmhouses, but I found the animation to be a little bit glitchy, and sometimes it would fire, sometimes it didn't. So I put a second chemistry station here. got the actual camp thing itself, and upstairs we have the remainder of the workstations, so armor and tinkerer and weapons. Of course, all of these other things here are stash boxes, so plenty of access for anybody who's going to be up here. And again, just the idea here was I wanted to have some place that felt spacious enough for 4 people to actually be working together without just tripping all over each other. Another spot to get the well-tuned perk, and this little patio has another purpose in that a lot of times enemies will spawn at that farmhouse across the way there, and so this is a nice place to come out and snipe those guys off, get some sneak attack criticals and some experience points without really putting myself at risk or having to cross the risk crossing that river where I invariably take a ton of rads every time I walk across it. Last little feature that I am going to show you today is out back of my workshop here. I've got another door that I have switched only from the inside, so there's no way that someone can come from the outside and open that door. And I have access to my water purifier without having to actually get into that irradiated water. So I don't have to dunk myself in the water to get my purified water out of the purifier. Getting this set of stairs placed just right was probably the hardest part of this entire build. So that is my farmhouse camp. I hope you liked, and if you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. If you didn't like, please tell me why so I can try and do better for you next time. If you want to see more, be sure and subscribe. I will show you where I built this thing and how to do the wiring on that door, as well as a few other things in an upcoming video, so subscribe to see that. Until next time, my name is Nacho Bidness, and I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.